Florida. This is I find absolutely fascinating. It's happening in state after state. I mean, this is not unique to Florida, but Florida seems to be the worst because Ron DeSantis is on this Jeremiad, against anything, quote, woke, and of course, the word woke goes back to Leadbelly's comment about stay woke if you're black and in the South, because somebody might try to kill you. And so it's, for DeSantis, woke means anything having to do with black people or queer people or social justice of any sort, or the environment. That's all woke in his mind. So now the NAACP, the oldest civil rights group in America, is cautioning people not to travel to Florida. Or if you must travel to Florida, be very, very careful. The advisory says, and I quote, Florida is openly hostile toward African Americans, people of color, and LGBTQ+ individuals. Before traveling to Florida, please understand that the state of Florida devalues and marginalizes the contributions of and the challenges faced by African Americans and other communities of color. Derek Johnson, who's the president of the NAACP, says, let me be clear. Failing to teach an accurate representation of the horrors and inequalities that Black Americans have faced and continue to face is a disservice to students and a dereliction of duty to all. Amen. Meanwhile, the League of United Latin American Citizens, LULAC, one of the oldest Hispanic civil rights groups in the U.S., has also issued a warning. That was on Wednesday, essentially saying the same thing. David Jolly, the former Republican congressman from Florida, he's got 2 young kids. Like really young. I guess they're both under 5. And he's talking about moving out of the state. He doesn't want his kids to grow up in a state where they can't learn American history in the schools. He and his family feel threatened because he dares to go on MSNBC and criticize Donald Trump. He says, the hostility is everywhere. This is a quote. He said, it's in the air. It's everywhere. It's amazing. It's between neighbors. It's when you go to restaurants, when you go to schools. You're on one side or the other, and people know it. He's talking about culture wars. He told Jonathan Capehart, he said, to do all these things reflects that DeSantis is doing, reflects a certain cruelty and darkness of one's personal ethos. I think Ron DeSantis is now going to be seen as that. He says, look, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old who I hope can grow up in a community that is inclusive, that exposes them to diverse thinking, diverse cultures, and allows our family to make decisions about which values for our kids. That's not Florida.